Winnipeg. I used to get a paycheck that had the logo up in the top left corner. Making that transition and being here as part of that, welcome back to the NHL, Winnipeg, getting to be part of that and seeing that firsthand. You even said coming back to Canada was a goal. I mean, that's a bunch of stars aligning for you. And from your perspective, what was that like?
That was amazing. That was honestly, I've always wanted Winnipeg to get a team back. I mean, Smythe Division, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Vancouver, that's how I grew up watching hockey. And, I know I played with a lot of guys from Winnipeg and a lot of people from Winnipeg, and I know how much everyone there loves hockey. And, to go back and wear a jersey where it's got the maple leaf on it, and I love the ownership there. I thought they were just really passionate. And I was actually the first player to come to Winnipeg because I was like, I couldn't wait to get there. I rented Nolan Baumgartner's house. He was either playing or coaching somewhere. I can't remember at that point. But I rented his place during the season.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember too, because I know he ended up playing finished off in the American League down in San Antonio.
Yeah, I think he was playing still because we're the same age or whatever. We played junior against each other. But anyway, I drove there, and I was just so excited to get there and just, be a part of a culture that's just lives and breathes hockey. It was awesome. I remember it was kind of funny because every time we'd meet somebody or, I was dropping my daughter off at school or whatever, people were thanking us, like me. There's like, oh, thanks for coming back. I'm like, I had nothing to do. Trust me, I'm happy to be here, but I had nothing to do with it. But it was awesome. And I just, I remember, dropping my daughter off at school, and I'd sit there and talk to dads and moms for an hour about oh, how are you guys going to be this year or during the season, about the power play and stuff like that. And before the season started, I remember I was driving back from the rink, and I had my family with me actually. And I saw a road hockey game, a street hockey game, and they're all playing. They had the Jets jerseys on and everything. And I'm like, I'm going to stop there and play. And I had my glove and blocker because I got a new glove and blocker on, or because I was bringing it home to work it in. And so I pulled over, and I pulled my glove and blocker out, and I said, hey guys, can I play? And they're like, yeah, they knew who I was. I didn't know if they would. I was like, oh, this might backfire. But anyway, I ended up playing street hockey for an hour with the kids, and it was just, it was a blast. And it was awesome.
And you got that from Nashville. I love that.
Yeah, it was. But I just think, that's that reminded me of being a kid because, you couldn't take me off the street hockey or whatever it was. And to see that, now the kids don't play here. It's not really made for that here. But, we used to do that all the time. You go back to Canada and kids they're playing street hockey, or they're either, whether it's in a tennis court or wherever, an old, a rink that's got the board still up or whatever. And this just happened to be on the street that I was passing by. And I'm like, I'm going to stop there and I'm going to go play some street hockey with these kids. It was cool.
How was being part of what I call Travis all the time, being part of the traveling circus while raising kids?
You just get used to it. And honestly, now I think it's made my kids so adaptable. I mean, I wasn't the most outgoing kid when I was a kid. So it would probably, but we moved around a lot too. And I just think it makes you adaptable. And, I guess you get to a certain age. My first kid when I was 30, she's 18 now. She's going off to college next year.
Congratulations.
I have a 13-year-old, a 7-year-old. But no, it was fine. You just did what you got to do. I mean, I could never complain, with doing what I was doing. I was living my dream. And I think the kids see that and they're just like, all right, well, wherever we got to do, we'll do. So, and they've turned out great. They're all great kids and they're doing well. So I think it worked out. But yeah, I did think about that. I think as I got older, because I think when you have kids, it changes your mindset a little bit, in terms of, training and doing all these things. I was a savage. I would do everything I could possibly do. To come to camp in the best shape, and everything revolved around hockey. That was the only thing that I, was focused on. And when you have kids, it does change a little bit. And, you start looking ahead a little bit, and obviously you've got, people that you're responsible for. And so that was an adjustment, but I honestly can say that, my experience it was a great experience. I got to go live in Italy and Germany at the end of my career. And then we moved back here, and it worked out great.
We do a hockey podcast called Sling the Biscuit every single Sunday. The clips, the bite-sized chunks are right here. Only the hits, the full-length show, which you don't want to miss, is right here. That's Dave. I'm Travis. We'll see you soon.